I hope you're excited because we've finally arrived at the skill that's going to put everything we've learned so far to good use, taking your overall learning skills to the next level. That's right, we're ready to start speed reading. Now, with that said, we need to ensure that as we transition into speed readers, we don't forget our fundamentals. Though a big part of the speed reading learning curve will mean that you don't have high comprehension in the short term, we do want to make sure that you're keeping comprehension and retention at high levels over the long run. This is a bit difficult though, because it's surprisingly easy to fool yourself into thinking that you remember everything. When you go back through the text later on to test yourself, or when you take a quiz, you'll often tell yourself, yeah, I remember this stuff. But oftentimes, the brain is tricking us. It's mistaking familiarity with actual retention, because when you see a piece of information, it somewhat jogs your memory. This is called confirmation bias, and it's something we want to avoid if we're going to accurately measure our comprehension and retention. So here's an exercise that we recommend for periodically testing yourself and your comprehension. After pre-reading and speed reading a section of text, take a moment to jot down everything you remember on paper or a text document, and then compare your notes side by side with the text that you read. This is a powerful exercise, not only because it will keep you honest and shut down your confirmation bias, but also because you can learn a lot from the details you neglected or remembered incorrectly. By doing this, you can determine if, for example, you need to pay a little more attention to names or dates or anything else. Anytime you miss a pertinent detail or concept, you should ask yourself why it happened. Is it in the very beginning or the end of the text where you might have been eager to start or finish and you lost focus? Do you have a bias towards certain types of information? Do you think that there were too many details in the text? With that said, you need to use your judgment here. Sometimes a bias towards a specific type of information is a good thing. If you're reading a technical manual and you're biased towards the technical specifications over the less useful descriptive information, that's fine, and in fact it's preferable. Essentially, we don't expect you to regurgitate the text 100% word for word. We do, however, expect that with time, you'll be able to identify and recall every detail, concept, and idea that you deem pertinent. Not all details are pertinent though, and you should be able to differentiate which information is throwaway and which information should be remembered. What if you added information that wasn't there to begin with? Well, first and foremost, ask yourself why. Perhaps you're trying to analyze the text while reading instead of during the pauses at the end of each paragraph or section instead. There's no specific homework for this exercise or for some of the other speed reading skills we'll be teaching you. Instead, you should work this exercise and the others we'll share into your normal training throughout the course of the coming weeks. You don't need to quiz yourself every time you read, but you should try to do this exercise as often as possible. It'll greatly improve your retention, not just of the text you're practicing on, but also of everything you read as you become more and more aware of your weak spots over time, and you use that knowledge to overcome them.